With us now on Chaos TV is Caroline Dobson from Citizens Advice Cornwall. Caroline is the project leader for Empower, helping people save energy and to reduce cost. Thanks for joining us today. Hello.
Hello there, Paul Janelles. Nice to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you too. Thank you for taking the time to come on the show today. I know obviously you must be very busy. It's every day is busy at the moment, especially with energy at the moment. It's quite a hot topic, isn't it?
It certainly is. You couldn't be more spot on. Busy times, but it's nice to be able to come on here and get the word out.
Fantastic. Well, it is lovely. Thank you for coming on the show again. So, could you talk us through Empower, the Empower project, Caroline, and what's your role in it?
Absolutely. So, Empower is a new project with Citizens Advice. It helps people tackle excessive energy bills and aims to reduce fuel poverty across Cornwall. As in the name, Empower, people make better energy choices by providing them with the knowledge, skills and resources for this to be possible. So essentially, the project came about because Citizens Advice have vast experience of delivering energy advice over the years across all of Cornwall. And essentially, it's inherited. What's happened is that the move over the years, we've realised that people move into new properties with little knowledge or guidance of how the energy and hot water systems work. So what they do is they inherit the previous occupant's energy supplier and often not aware of their rights to change. So Empower is funded by the Energy Savings Trust, who's an independent organisation to address the climate emergency. So that's it in a nutshell, really.
Fantastic. I mean, this is something that I feel like I've got my ear to the ground a bit more on. I've dealt with this kind of thing before, and it can also get quite confusing for a lot of people. I know when I switched to electric heating for the first time, that was quite a shock for myself on the sudden price increase. I've always been a lot more aware. From that day on, I was very eyes open, research everything. But I don't, like you said, I think a lot of people just don't realise what they're getting into, and also, like you said, their right to change. So could I go on to who's eligible for support? Because that's one that I've struggled with myself, actually. And I have my mum who's 72, bless her, and I often wonder, is she eligible for support? I don't know.
Sure. So basically, we work with primary housing authority tenants, but the project is open to everybody. The many Citizens Advice services that we offer, no matter what background you're from, circumstances, we're inclusive to everybody in the community. We want to ensure that we're available to everybody and want to remove the accessibility barriers to people so they're offered and required support at any time. So it can be, like you said, your mother who's 74 years old, or it can be somebody that's literally just moved into their own accommodation that's 20 years old. It's inclusive to everybody. And my role essentially is to help go out and do energy assessments, whether that's speaking on the phone or potentially popping out to the property to assist in that. So that's what we're here for.
That's absolutely fantastic. And a lot of the times it's just having someone else there, different perspective, who can explain things in a different way. Because I find a lot of it is a lot of jargon, isn't it? It's trying to understand what they're telling you.
Absolutely. Well, what I tend to do is I look at the current energy tariffs that people are on. I explain the billing process. We go through smart meters, if that's something that they want to go down that route. We have been previously looking at switching tariffs, but what we've asked people now to not do that, obviously with the current energy crisis, to stick with what you've got. So we look at different energy benefits, such as improvements to the property. We look at energy assessments. We look at the EPC rating, which is the energy performance rating on every property. And we also help if anybody's in fuel debt or they need to resolve some billing issues. So we transpose those energy suppliers and really get involved with that and help as much as we can. We also help with anybody that's suffering mold and damp issues in the property. We try and get to the source of that problem. So it really is a case of the whole perspective of the property energy usage. We really get in. And if we can't help with something personally, we can signpost you to somebody that will be able to help. The main thing is picking up the phone to us.
Fantastic. And I'll tell you something, that's something that Els and I very quickly looked at each other and went, oh, we have mould and damp problems. Maybe we should pick up the phone to you.
I feel like it's a very big problem across the whole of Cornwall, to be honest with you, is having mould and damp problems.
Yeah, well, the house we moved into, it needed a massive renovation. There was massive damp problems. I can't explain it. And I've done so much personal research into it. We've got a dehumidifier now, which has like a thing called an ionizer. And you know what? For the last few years, we've had near to nothing, and it's killed off everything. We've got a little bit of a problem now, but I think that's just down to me doing some upkeep, bit of anti-damp mould here, and anti-damp paint and sealing. But it's that kind of stuff that, like you said, it's just handy information that people just seem to miss out on.
Absolutely. And you know what's really interesting is a lot of the housing authorities, especially Cornwall Housing, on the websites, they've got some really great tips on how to get rid of damp and mould. And if you can, any opportunity, whether that's social media or go direct to the websites, if you do have internet connection, or even if needs be to come into one of these Citizens Advice offices, you can have a look at those tips, and there's some really useful information just to help you get through these very cold months going forward.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Caroline. Stay with us, please, because obviously we've got a short video now with the brilliant Kernel King. I'm looking forward to this, and some top tips on saving energy.
Yo, what's on? Kernel King here. Welcome to my crib. Now, I'm here today to give you some top tips on how to save energy and therefore money. Keep those wintry drafts where they belong. Insulate windows, fireplaces, and of course, doors. How do you save water and energy at the same time? Only use your dishwasher when you've got a full load. And when you're making a cup of tea, only use as much water as you need. Cheers. If your boiler is over 15 years old, you might want to think about replacing it, because you can save yourself £300 a year with a new boiler. And there are grants available to help make it more affordable. Cheers. Where do you lose most of your heat from? Windows. How do we fix it? Secondary glazing. It's only a thin layer of glass or plastic, and it's a very cheap alternative to double glazing. When replacing electrical items, remember to get one with that A-star rating. You'll save a fortune. And when you put a wash on, make sure you do a full load. And if the Cornish sun allows it, and it ain't mizzly, bung your washing on the line. She'll dry up lovely, as long as they ain't muck spreading on the farms. If you turn your thermostat down by just 1 degree, you can save yourself 50 quid a year. And that's a lot of pasties. It's unbelievable how much money you can be losing if your water tank isn't insulated or lagged. A decent lagging jacket costs as little as a tenner and can pay for itself in no time at all. Turn off your lights, your TVs, your plug sockets, because after all, we don't want your house lit up like Mousel at Christmas. Hey! Get yourself an energy-saving light bulb, because you can save yourself 55 quid a year. Chuck in some insulation up in your loft, because that'll keep the warmth in, and there are grants available to make it affordable. Get yourself an energy performance certificate. In it, there are loads of tips on how you can save energy and money. Ooh. If you or someone you know is vulnerable and needs extra help if the power supply to their home fails, get on to the free Priority Services Register with Western Power Distribution. And if you're worried about paying your bills, don't sit at home and shiver in the cold. Get in touch with the Citizens Advice. So save money, save energy, and keep warm this winter. I've been the Kernel King. Cheers and gone.
You gotta love the Kernel King, haven't you? He's fantastic.
Is that where you got the cheers and gone thing from, Pudge?
Look, no. That is Cornish throughout. You go throughout Cornwall, you meet someone Cornish, you go cheers and gone, they know. He's putting a bit of.
Sorry, I grew up in a town, not a small Cornish village. It's not a term I'd heard before you.
Anyway, welcome back, Caroline. Excuse the banter.
That's great.
You might have
At least
noticed
it's creating banter. That's what we want to do.
Exactly. You might have noticed we try the professional side of things on here, but they bring me on the show, and that's where it all sort of goes to pot. Anyway, we'll try and bring it back. Obviously, fantastic stuff to see, of all people, the Kernel King, and he's an energy advocate for Citizens Advice. Could you tell us a bit about that, and how did that come about?
Okay, so the Kernel King, we were given some funding through the Energy Savings Trust, and last year we were looking for somebody that could promote the seriousness of the energy crisis, but yet put a different slant on it and add some humour and try and make people relate to us and reach out to us, essentially. So we've been given some more funding again this year to do another promotion, whether that's with Kernel King, I'm not sure at the moment, but hopefully it'll be equally as amusing. But yeah, we want to be able to reach as many people as possible throughout Cornwall. And that was the ideal approach.
It's clearly it's work, because who better for Cornwall than the Kernel King himself? And the thing is, like you said, he's got that good balance. He's got the comedy factor there, just in him being him, but he still gets that information across nice and clearly. And the video is very clear, it's very concise, and it's fantastic. It's really good.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's all right. What advice would you give people to avoid fuel debt this winter? Because obviously it's a big thing at the moment with the rising prices. I believe is it gas that I believe what's been causing the issue.
Yeah, it's been a huge issue. I mean, you've probably seen sort of obviously all over the news, and Martin Lewis, and there's been so much speculation about this. But first and foremost, what we do with the Empower project is we always advise clients to take regular meter readings. It's crucial that you can keep a record and even get those through to your energy companies. Stay on top of that and get a real understanding of what sort of usage you're on and what tariff you're on, essentially. Contact us to do an energy assessment. That's what we're here for, to be able to help with that. Do not sit and worry about try not to sit and worry about high energy costs coming through. We can look to see if there's a solution to be able to manage that. There's lots of ways we can help with that. The one golden nugget I'd probably say to take away from this is the government have wrongly advised everybody to switch their energy tariff at the moment while in this crisis. And that's completely something that you can't do at the moment. We strongly advise not switching. Basically, it'll cost you more money to switch than it would essentially staying with your current energy supplier. So stay put for now. Obviously, the unprecedented spike in energy prices has meant standing tariffs are going to be higher. But we can inform you, we can help, and we can look to the future, what's possible out there. The main thing is that we can give full guidance on all the different tariffs that are out there.
Fantastic. It really is. It makes me so happy to see this kind of information available and what you guys are doing, because I had to do this for my mum a few times now, and
for us as well.
And for us, and people just don't seem to know what the difference is. They go, we'll go with anyone. It's just an energy provider. Actually, there's a lot to it. Could you bring this down now a bit more locally for us? So could you tell us about fuel poverty in Cornwall?
Yeah, of course. It's at the moment, you're looking at one family in 8 across Cornwall that struggles to heat their home at the moment, which is a really high figure. And the problem is only getting worse. across the whole of the country, you're looking at about 4 million households now that are in fuel poverty. So throughout Cornwall, there's about 250,000 homes that are currently in poverty at the moment. So this is really, really worrying, and obviously something that we're trying to get a hold of here, and hence why the projects and the grants and the fundings are coming available to be able to assist in that. We should be able to stay in our homes and be warm all the time. You mentioned your elderly mother. You know, we should be able to feel comfortable with warm. But at the moment, what's happening in anybody that's suffering fuel poverty, potentially you've got a low income, the energy is increasing substantially, and it's leaving people in impossible situations where it's choosing either to heat home, feed the children, or pay the rent. So you've got that constant juggling act, and it's just, it's worrying, and it's a national injustice, and that shouldn't be happening now. And I think if we can really spread the word and really help and make it as inclusive to people to come to us as much as possible, that's what we aim to do. And I hope that obviously me coming on today can open up those doors and get people to reach out.
I certainly hope so, and I would have thought so. And you're right, it's a massive injustice, and obviously we've got this energy crisis going on. At the same time, there is a massive housing crisis going on. It's all going hand in hand to make a perfect storm, should we say? And we go on about it a lot, but I feel we feel it needs to go on. We need to go on about it to help each other, and it's lovely again to for the kind of stuff you guys are doing. You'll laugh at this. I'm lucky enough with my mum that, bless her, 72 years old, in the middle of winter, 0 degrees. She'll open the window. She's roasting hot. She's a little bit different. She likes to do things different. Anyway, what benefits do those that come to Citizens Advice receive?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so essentially, what you'll get is excuse me, sorry.
You all right?
Well, I've just got a couple of notes here. It's thank you for your patience.
No, you're absolutely fine. You see how we run things here.
We're sat staring at a script.
So basically, going through these winter months, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, do nothing with your energy supply in terms of switching. Carry on with them. Okay. We also advise to turn off any standby appliances, turn down thermostats on the radiator to a manageable heating capacity there in the house. I spoke to a lady the other day whose children found it a bit of a game to keep turning it up, and it got to about 10, 11 o'clock at night, and the heating was sky high, and she couldn't understand until obviously she found this out. So we always recommend keep checking the thermostat, keep checking that's at a level that you can cope with. Obviously, speak to your energy company. See if there's any grants or any funding available. Get on the priority services register if you're able to do that. There's the warm home discount, which can give you up to £140 per year if you're able to get that. So look into that as well. We also help. We also recommend, obviously, wash clothes on a lower temperature if possible. Be smarter with your water. If you can, any drafts within the property, if you can, put something down just to draft exclusive or anything, or make something up that can just get rid of those drafts, that helps as well. And just try and monitor your usage as much as possible. Be aware of it. The smart meters help, but that's a personal choice if you choose to go down that road.
Fantastic, absolutely lovely. There's a few bits in there actually we haven't done. I think we might be tempting to do draft excluders, especially for us.
Yeah, especially that window in the living room.
Yep.
Yes.
So how can people actually get in touch with Citizens Advice Cornwall? Where can they find more information?
Sure. So there is the main helpline number for the Citizens Advice, or you can contact by email empower@citizensadvicecornwall.co.uk. But please feel free to call the main number and your call will be directed. There's our energy team. There's lots of people here available to support and help.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to us today, Caroline. Really helpful information. Such an applicable time too, obviously. But I mean, one would argue it's applicable always, just more important now, I suppose. It'd be lovely to have you back in the studio next time, if possible. But otherwise,
absolutely, I'd love to. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you either way for coming on. It's been absolutely brilliant. I believe now we've got a short video from your colleague. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong. Is it Cremina or Cremina?
It's Cremina Whiting, yes.
Lovely, fantastic. And this is about another energy project you guys got. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Powerhouse is designed to help young people who are not in employment, education or training, and young people who are leaving care or who are at risk of homelessness or for any other reason regarded as being vulnerable between the ages of 16 and 25. And the specific thing that we help with is energy bills and energy consumption. So we help educate our clients and our participants about the best ways to reduce their energy consumption, and also about the best ways to shop around and pay as little as possible for the energy that they use. You can refer to us individual clients, and we can advise them on a one-to-one basis, or we can also organise them in groups and run workshops with them. Our workshops cover the following areas. So we talk about energy saving tips, understanding energy bills, shopping around for the best energy deal, warm home discount. We help our clients apply for the warm home discount, and we discuss with them eligibility criteria. We talk about energy trust grants to clear fuel debt. And it may be surprising, but even in this young age, some of our clients do have energy debt. And other clients or other participants in our courses are interested in this on behalf of their parents or grandparents. We also discuss grants for insulation and heating. Basically, we answer all manner of energy queries to help make our clients energy competent. So as I said, we run workshops with groups, but we also advise on a one-to-one basis where our clients need more complex and more tailored individual help. Our perfect outcome is to ensure that our participants know how to preempt problems relating to their energy use occurring in the future, arising further down the line. But if, despite being energy competent, they still get into difficulty with their energy bills, we'll be there to help them find the best solutions and to pick them up. We help equip them basically with the energy skills that they need in order to avoid difficulties whilst living independently in the future. After completing the course, our participants are issued with a certificate evidencing that they attended the course and also stating that they are now responsible energy consumers, which adds further value to the invaluable skills that we equip them with, that we help them gain. The best ways to refer to us are firstly, you can email us with your client's details to powerhouse@citizensadvicecornwall.org.uk. So I'll repeat, our project email address is powerhouse@citizensadvicecornwall.org.uk, or you can just call me on my mobile number, which is 07762824211 with your client's details. I'll repeat, it is 07762824211. If you know of any young people who are feeling a little bit lost, who are looking to make that leap to independence and who will benefit from learning about how to manage their energy use and how to ensure that they pay for it as little as possible, please refer them to us. We will look after them and we will make sure that they gain a lot out of their time spent with us. So any clients 25 and under with financial difficulties or considered vulnerable for any reason, please refer them to us, and we will make sure that we spare them the hardship and heartache that many of our clients that we deal with on a one-to-one basis are going through, and whilst doing that, reduce our workload further down the line. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a great, fruitful session today.
Amazing stuff. Fantastic. And thanks again to Caroline from Citizens Advice Cornwall previously there.